What is your name? Where are you from? I already asked you that, but I'll ask you again. What is your name? Where are you from?
My name is Bill Gavin. I grew up in Livingston, New Jersey. Right now, I retired and I live in Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
All right, great. How did you originally hear about my company?
I was searching the web for a song. I was trying to learn how to play For a Dancer by Jackson Brown, and lo and behold, Shawn pops up.
Yeah.
uh,
So let me guess. YouTube is really the only place people ever find me that I hear. So you found it on YouTube, I guess.
yes, I was searching YouTube, yeah,
Okay.
and
What do you like most about learning from my method?
well, for somebody who's older in life, I'd probably say I didn't really want to become a professional pianist, or I just want to learn some songs that I liked, and and you offered that opportunity, how to play specific songs and they were like the record, not that was always something too. Like I'd buy a piece of sheet music and it never sounded like the record. You can't hear it, but and
Well, thank you
you
for
offer like
noticing
the
that.
visual and you hear it and you can replay it. So all that stuff helps somebody who's not, takes a while to absorb all that stuff. So I like that part of it.
Well, thank you for noticing that, Bill. I'm a lot of people will everything they do on piano, they'll put the melody in the right hand, and that's okay. But that ends up being kind of elevator music to me. I like to sing with it, or even if I'm not singing, I want to play what the guy on the album plays. And I always had that desire, and you probably had it too. Where you're frustrated if you ever do get sheet music. It's not what they're playing. I want to play what they play, and so that's always been something I've really wanted to do and really stuck to is giving you as best as I can what's on the album. And if let's say, the piano isn't playing that much, but maybe a guitar is, or a bass line or a vocal, I'll try to draw from those other instruments and kind of, mix those with the piano part so it sounds like the album version on a solo piano. So how do you feel about me doing that? Did you notice I did that, or do you care?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, we used to play wagon wheel, just with the guitars,
Uh-huh.
and it sounds okay. But then I saw your video on wagon wheel, and you adapt that lead to it in the beginning. It sounds really good. So I'm in the process of trying to learn that one. So we'll add that back to our set after I can learn on keys. Yeah,
Awesome. I love that because that's a fairly, more recent song. And, it's not just the old music that's good. I do think most of the music that's good is in the past.
yeah,
There are good
yeah,
songs that are written today.
yeah.
It isn't, I'm not against any new music, but, a lot of that stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s a little bit for me, is where the best stuff is at. But I love hearing you're not opposed to doing something newer if it's good. Let's see. On a scale of Yeah, on a scale of one to no, I'm sorry, I skipped one. What makes my method different from other online piano lessons?
I'd say a couple of things. Number one is a lot of like the other ones I think, are more about teaching how to become a pianist rather than learn how to play songs, if that makes sense. Uh,
Yeah,
and
it
again, we
does.
we mentioned I like the fact that when you do a song, you do it like the record, which I like, and then and yeah, and so I don't have to learn how to read music. I can just learn. I don't want to read music. I want to play songs. I want to play
Yeah,
music.
yeah. Yes, you're
Especially when
kind
you're
of
older,
in
you don't have that much time left, so you want to learn the songs.
yeah. You're discussing something that I've kind of run across because it's like with lessons sometimes the teacher wants to get you good at being a piano player so that one day you can go play the songs
Yeah,
that you love. But to me, I feel there's songs you can start playing right now, and people are way more motivated to play stuff they love and get better that way instead of, oh, learn this first, spend years on this, and then you can be good enough one day to play the stuff you want to. So I love that you touched on that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with my lessons?
well, I don't give out tens, but I'd say a 9.5 there. Because
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love now. Why don't you give out tens? I think I know why, but
Well, really, when I say that, well, there's always room for some improvement, but more than that is I watched. I don't know if you ever hear a guy named Dave Portnoy. He does pizza reviews. He just goes around the country and does ranks pizza places.
okay.
And he never gives out a 10. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I love that because somebody yesterday gave me a 10 and I said, I appreciate that, Louise. But for me, I never want to think I've got there. I'm always trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
improve. I'm always trying to get better. And, that's why I'm using this different little notation. I always think there's a way to improve it. If I can put the lyrics in there, like you suggested, that'll be even better. So I like the little room for me to get better, to always get better. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Would you recommend me to a family member or a friend? And if so, why?
Actually, I have a couple of people who are interested. When we go to open mic, open mics once a month, and I played keyboards there a couple of times. They go, "How'd you do that?" I got this online piano teacher. So
Uh-huh.
I got a couple people who are interested. I think and
Yeah.
one's one guy's in his 30s, but he has young kids who are like 10 years old who like to start from the beginnings. So
Yeah.
so you get
Excellent.
those different generations.
Let me ask you too, Bill, this because sometimes people like you will recommend me to somebody, and the first thing they do when they come over and look, because I had this kid that's just an awesome prodigy, and he's playing these Bob Seger piano solos, and
Mm.
Bruce Springsteen had an awesome piano player too, but he's playing those solos note for note exactly, and the guy comes over and says, "Hey, where are you getting that? How are you?" And then Kevin shows him my video and the sheets, and the first thing people usually do is look at it and they go, "What the heck is that?" And they don't say heck though. And so they
Yeah.
see that, and then
Yeah.
immediately kind of turns them off. What would you say to that first impression of somebody looking at my method and
Well,
just
it's to me it's less intimidating than looking at a piece of sheet music,
yeah,
and I kind of like to see the notes and the to me that who doesn't read music, it's more of an advantage than a disadvantage because I
yeah,
think sheet music is a lot more intimidating.
it is, yes. Yeah,
So,
I was actually a terrible sight reader growing up, so I kind of know how you guys feel. I was at a higher level doing it, but I could, I had the same struggle, and I'm very musical, and it didn't come naturally to me. So, I feel the pain of everybody on that.
yeah.
It's a big
I'm
reason I
not a
started this.
prodigy by any, but the good thing too is that I like the way you say, do a bar at a time, practice it, then link them together, and that's how you
Excellent.
learn.
I hope you guys don't get tired of me saying that because I know that someone that gets on a video for the first time will never have heard that. So I don't want them to miss out because they don't practice the right way. A lot of people will quit because they try to learn the whole song at once and they don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
how to practice. So, I try to say it every time just so no one gets left out. I guess you can skip past it if you heard it before, but
yeah.
yeah.
My
Um,
approach is it's like I try to, I hear a song I like and I want to learn it, and I try to learn the chords so I can play the chords. But then I go to you, and usually the nice licks and stuff are in the beginning. You get all that, and then
yeah.
you can sing with it, and you get better, and then you can still go back and get some new licks, add a couple country thirds here and there. Yeah, so it's yeah. I don't sit down. I know the song all at once, but
Uh-huh.
it's there, and you can keep going back and getting the same song and get better at, but
Yeah. Excellent. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you. How you doing, Bill?
good. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
I really appreciate it. I don't know if you're nervous at all, but you don't need to be. We're just, relaxed here in the studio. Um, yeah. So, yeah, Thank you for doing this. We can just talk about whatever we want to for a while. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you that series of questions like I gave you there, and you can just answer them however you want to.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd like to start with, where are you located? Where are you out?
I live in it's called Lower Nazareth Township, which is like 4 miles south of Bethlehem. and about
Okay.
4 miles north of Nazareth. It's
Okay.
home
All right.
home of Martin guitars.
Oh, wonderful. My son will love that. He's in here with me. He's kind of joining the team, because we're trying to, promote our business and stuff and actually start working at it
Yeah.
instead of just, putting up videos on YouTube. And he's a guitar player. I don't know if you play guitar, but maybe you do
Yeah.
wearing that shirt. But he's as good as I was on piano, but on guitar. He's 19.
Oh, yes.
And so he loves Martins. He's tearing it up. He can play Stevie Ray Vaughan and he's only been playing for 2 years, so he loves guitar.
Wow.
So are you
Yeah.
primarily a guitar player? Or do you do both or what?
Yeah. I was basically a guitar player, a rhythm guitar player. I call myself like intermediate campfire.
Okay. Yeah. So
So,
you got your capo and you can just do whatever, right?
yeah, yeah. Play some
Yeah.
songs like that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then,
My son. Yeah. Cool. Great. So I get a lot of guitar players and drummers who are crossing over to piano. Do you know why that is? Do you have any insight into that? Because I've always been curious about that.
I'm not sure. I actually started out playing drums.
Okay.
And then when I was like in late high school, I got a guitar. And then I always liked the piano. I think my inspiration for the piano was like Elton John when your song came
Oh
out,
yeah.
like in '69 or '70. So I go, man, that's really good. And
Me
so,
too.
and that's when I go, I wish I could play that. And then when I moved, I used to, I'm retired now, but when I lived in New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey.
Okay.
Uh, I moved to this house and I got myself a little baby grand and I started teaching myself, like that.
Okay.
But you run up against a wall after that. After you play for a while, you just get
Yeah.
stuck kind
You
of
hit the
with that.
wall, as they call it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I could play chords like the first position, like C's and G's
Yeah.
and A's and those things. But then you go, all right, what do we do from here? And
Yeah, so you probably don't not really interested in reading music. Maybe do you know chords, what you're playing, what chords you're playing?
yeah, I know, I
Okay.
know, chords I play, and I can't really read music. Like, the was it the staff Harry Boy
Yeah, the
that's good
staff.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. I know that I think I'm not down on reading music. I can read music. I kind of, grew up doing that. But it's really not the only way to do stuff. And people always
Yeah,
look kind of down if you can't read music. Oh, you're one of those. But that's not really true. Some of the best musicians that ever lived didn't read music or they couldn't read music well. So I just think, it's a way to do it, but just if music reading is not in your wheelhouse or you haven't done it, doesn't mean you're excluded at all from anything or you're a lesser musician at all. So, I get that a lot of times. People feel like they're cheating using my method or something, or they feel like that. And I said, no, you're not. It's just a different way to do it. There's lots of ways to get there. If you choose a different road, then that's fine. Whatever works for you, because the ultimate goal is to
yeah,
play the music you love, right?
yeah, yeah. In my case too, as older too, so I'm not sure I have the years left to just start
Yeah.
playing, learning music and doing it. So I go.
Well, I
Basically,
love,
my
yeah.
my 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 thing was I just want to learn how to play some songs, so I can go out
Yes.
and maybe
Songs you like.
play them for
Now you,
somebody else.
I get my hard requests mixed up, but yours is the Fields of Gold one. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yours,
yeah,
yeah. I've been working. I've been working on that.
yeah. That sounds good.
So I'm gonna add a little bit to what that guy did a really
Yeah,
great
yeah.
job. I'm gonna add a few country thirds in there just to
Oh yeah,
spice
I
it up
love
a
those
little
country
bit.
thirds.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do just a little tweaking here, but he did a really great job. I'm excited. I'm doing that one today actually, so you can look forward to that. I see in the background you got your records up like I got mine. Let's see, I can make
yeah.
out Bruce. What's the one on the left? I can't quite see.
Let me see
Is
if
that Page and Plant? Who?
I'll walk
I
with.
can't.
Let's see if we can.
I can't really see.
Let me see if I can. This one's that's that
Oh,
one's
there we go.
Sergeant Pepper. It
Yeah,
has a
Beatles.
light.
Okay,
Start.
excellent.
That's
Yeah, I
Sergeant
recognize that
Pepper.
one. And then I see
That's
Bruce
Bruce.
there, and then the one on the left I couldn't make out.
This one, can you see it now? Like, That's
Oh, that's
that's the
Loggins and Messina, right? Or Loggins
no,
and
no, that's Bob
Bob
Dylan,
Dylan. Yeah, and Kenny
uh,
Loggins.
Russell. He played both, and George Harrison. That was the
Oh, George
concert for
Harrison. Okay.
Bangladesh.
Ah, okay. Yeah, see, I have some holes in my rock knowledge, because I did classical all the way growing up, and I didn't
Yeah,
start learning the rock stuff till my late 20s. So you guys are helping me, educate myself. Neat. I love
yeah.
that.
And I got
I thought I
this.
was the only one that did that. Awesome.
Let
Look
me
at that.
see. That's the Bruce. That's Jackson Brown's stand on the corner of Winslow,
Oh,
Arizona.
yes. Okay.
Taking it easy. Yeah,
Yeah, I've learned a lot about Jackson Brown. I've had Jackson
yeah,
Brown
yeah. You got a
requests
lot.
so much lately. That is cool.
Yeah,
Is this your music room here
yeah. This
where
is
you
my
play?
music room. That's my
What about
that's
your
my
instruments? What do you
keyboard.
got in there? Oh, there's your keyboard.
Yeah, yeah,
Sing. Okay. Yep.
yeah,
Casio.
yeah.
And
I
then,
actually got the Casio because it's way back when you had a Casio. I think
yeah,
that's the
I did.
Privia. Yeah, and
I
that's
did. I still have it. My daughter plays it now, and it's
yeah. So
wonderful.
I
I
was
mean,
looking for I was
yeah,
looking
and
for
so
a keyboard to get, and I go, oh, okay, because Shawn's playing one, so can't be too bad, right?
yeah, and they get a bad rap. They say, "Oh, you're playing a Casio." They look at it because they made the little toy ones, but they make good
Mm,
products. Their
yeah,
piano sounds are good, and they don't have a whole lot of bells and whistles, but I'm never looking for that anyway. So
yeah.
yeah,
The thing I like
interesting
about
stuff.
it too is you can take it out too. It's not like that heavy. You can put it
Yeah,
in a case and carry it. So
sure, excellent. So you're definitely a guy who loves music. You got a whole room dedicated to it there. So tell me, growing up, what got you into music? What got you into first playing the drums and guitar? What was your experience there growing up?
it was 1963 or four, the Beatles, when the
Okay,
Beatles,
Beatles explosion. Yeah.
yeah, it was that you might hear some people talk about was a February, and I guess it was February of '64. And they were on the Ed Sullivan Show,
Yeah.
and like that was the biggest audience ever for a TV show.
Hmm.
And so I'm watching on our 13-inch black and white
Uh-huh.
TV show,
Yeah.
and so I was like, so I'm 73 now, so I was like 12 years old then, or
Okay.
12, 13. I go, whoa, what's this?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking, whoa. And so yeah, that's the Beatles actually
I hear that a lot.
started
Yeah, the
me on.
Beatles did it for them. Yeah, a lot of the big rockers I know that the Beatles got them started as well. So for my perspective, it was different. Like I did the classical all the way. That's all I did. In fact,
Yeah,
I was at North Texas in my mid 20s. I was practicing, studying to be in the Van Cliburn competition, and then I finally was like, man, I hate this. I don't like. I love music, but I hate the stress and the competition, and it's just not what I'm enjoying. And then I started getting into rock music, because I wanted to, because I never had listened to it, because classical musicians a lot of times will look down on everything else, which is terrible.
mm,
A lot of yeah, I mean, you take Eddie Van Halen and Stevie Ray Vaughan, they did stuff that the classical musician that rivals or exceeds some of these classical players. But anyway, I'm starting to listen to everything. I just can't get enough of it. I start going out and buying CDs of entire, bands, for 10 albums for whatever, whoever it
yeah,
is. And
yeah.
I listen and I go, to my brother's living with me, and I go, Michael, you got to hear this song, man. This is the most awesome song I ever heard. And I'm like, and he's like, please, Shawn, please tell me that you're joking, that you've never heard that song. I thought I had found this golden
Yeah,
treasure.
yeah.
So yeah,
Stairway to
it was
heaven.
yeah. So you guys have been educating me with all the hard requests and stuff. I'm learning a lot of things, and then I'll come across something that I don't know anything about. So I
Yeah,
really love the interaction of the hard requests and stuff. So drums were first for you, and then you went to guitar, and you just strum chords and guitar, and then
yeah. That
and
was
later on.
I
How old
probably
were you
got
when you
in
started the piano thing?
not till I was, I'd say around I don't know if when I joined you, I've been with you probably 10 years, maybe a little more.
Okay, all right, great,
So I'm
excellent.
thinking around 2000, that 2000 time frame,
Okay. All right, so it's
and
been a while. Okay, so you've been playing,
yeah,
and you talk about people being older and starting. I think piano is one of those things like golf. You can play it on a really really high level, and you can also be a kid and do it, or you can be an adult and learn, and you can
yeah,
enjoy it on whatever. But to me, it's like golf that way. So I love hearing that you're playing and you started later, but you're still doing it. It's working for you. So what do you like if you sit down to play? What is your favorite things to play on the piano?
Yeah, I play in a little. I have a little group with a couple friends of mine. Yeah,
Oh,
uh,
wonderful. Okay,
I
you're
have
a gigger.
in fact, we played last night at open mic. We there was one of the guys who plays bass, and I've known him like all my life. Like I'm 70,
Yeah.
like I said, 73. I've known him for 70 years,
Uh-huh.
and then the other guy I met in high school. He's a really good guitar player. You know, he's
Yeah.
a lead. He can play it. You know, he was classically trained, and he knows all those the augmented and diminishes and all
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff. You know,
Right.
and so
Right. And
so yeah.
you play the keys in
We
this
play with
band?
them. I'm sorry,
Do you play the keys in this band or
both. You know, I kind
both?
of
Okay.
yeah. I'll
Whatever's
play.
needed.
You know, yeah. You know, if
Neat.
you know, well, last night I played guitar, but yeah, when I learn a song, then we'll do it. When I want learn one of the songs that you teach me, then we play it.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, it's so neat to get to meet you guys because a lot of people will say they feel like they already know me, and I think you probably do because
Yeah,
I say everything in the videos. But it's really neat to get to know you guys. And I'm kicking myself for not doing this sooner. I love this. You guys are wonderful people, and I love hearing your stories. Is the Fields of Gold, is that for the band, the one I'm about to record
yeah.
tonight?
I think we'll do that one. We did it kind of like with like Sting's version with the key, like just synth type thing like that. But it's hard. You need that percussion, you know, in
Yes,
his version. You know, you need that
you're right.
rim shot.
Yeah, that's right.
But
You're right.
with the piano, I think it'll be more a little more. You know, get better rhythm with it. I think.
You're exactly right. Yeah, you got to adapt it to what you have in your. My son and I are finding that out. Some songs, we need that kind of percussive, so he'll play a
Yeah,
stronger thing
yeah.
on the rhythm if we need that. So you kind of, adapt it. But I love hearing you're playing in a band. Does your band have a name?
Well, we used to call ourselves 60 something, but now we're all in the 70s, so we changed it to 70 something.
70 something. Okay, great. I would love, and I promise I wouldn't show it to anybody if you didn't want me to, but I would love you to send me a video of you guys playing.
Yeah.
Even if it's not perfect, I'd love to see that sort of thing. Because I know a lot of you are do gigs and are in bands and play, and I think that's the part a lot of people miss is they stay at home and they just play their instrument all by themselves and they never play for anybody else. They never go out and play with other people, and that's where it's really fun when you get
Yeah.
to do that. And I mean, there's nothing like it. So good to hear you're doing that. Um, so let me. Do you have any? I'm going to ask you these questions in a second, but do you have any questions? Anything you want to ask me? I always give people that opportunity in case you're wondering anything or.
No, the only thing I say is like for being watching it for the last 10 years or whatever, it's been amazing how your site and everything's progressed, you know, like you go back and look at some of those early
Yeah.
yes. I think the one that got me interested in that how I found you, I was looking to play for a dancer by Jackson Brown.
Okay,
And
Jackson Brown.
I
Yeah.
was just going on the internet and you popped up there. And I go, oh man, that
Yeah.
sounds just like it, you know.
Well, I have to
And then
tell you, I haven't really done anything to do that. All I've done is thrown videos up on YouTube. I've never done any advertising, never anything. And we're
yeah,
just starting now trying to do that. So I'm actually loving the process. But I love also that, some of those old videos, they're VHS tape, they're kind of grainy, they're on the actual whiteboard, and some of them are 17 years old, and people are
yeah,
still learning from them. That amazes me, and they don't complain about it. They're like, it
yeah.
works for me. So I love that. Let me ask you this: do you like, or does it? You're not a music reader per se, but does this bother you? Does it help you, or do you don't care as far as
Yeah,
because I'm putting this?
I like this new format you have.
Okay.
I like that a lot. The only thing I would, and it's probably, I don't know if you can do it or you can't do it, it would just be a pain in the ass. Is maybe if you had a little lyric you
Ah,
can't put in all the
yes.
lyrics, I guess, but just
You're right. I've actually
some,
started doing that with some of them at just a little extra time, but I think it's worth it.
yeah,
Great suggestion. I've been thinking that, but it's nice to hear someone say that. So I think
yeah, just to
yeah,
know where you are. You do that in some of your videos. You have like a little phrase so you kind of
right. When
give
I
you your
needed to know where it
bearings.
was, but I know you guys would like to know where you are. So that's a great idea. I think I'm going to start doing that from now on, and maybe I'll do it on this one. Put
Yeah,
that
that'd
in
be
there.
great. Not that you don't even
Sure.
have to do all the lyrics, just like where's
Yeah.
some start
So you
and
know where the heck you are in the song. That's
yeah,
right.
But
Excellent.
I like that new format. That I think I like that a lot actually.
Okay, yeah, because I hear music readers that have a background in music, even if they're not great at reading music, it looks more
Yeah.
familiar to them, and it helps them see the distance better and all that. So